So, today was the last day of the convention that I attended this weekend. Uh, and I went and got more comics. I got some more interesting, more Silver Age stuff. Not really Silver Age key issues, but Silver Age in general. Because I like collecting older comic books. Some older comic books, I just like the layout of the covers, the colors they use, the themes, just some really interesting stuff. So I went through and I picked out some pretty good Silver Age issues. Uh, as I promised, I picked up the collected edition or the trade paperback of Plush, which, having looked through it, yep, it is pretty much as I assumed. Well, I'm sure there's more to the Plush lore, but it's about, from what I can gather, it's about furries that eat people. So maybe like Walking Dead meets furries. I don't think it's indicative of the furry culture, and I don't want to. I personally don't judge the furry culture because furries. I dress up as Spider Punk and Riddler and Megavolt from Darkwing Duck. The way I see it, there's probably this is where I am right now, and there's not much separation between me and a furry in terms of the desire or the want to dress up as a character, I've met furries before. They seem like good guys, so I have nothing against furries. I wouldn't speak ill of furry culture. I like what they do. They seem nice. They're very nice people. So, just let's quickly go over the comic books I got. Okay, I think this one is a newer one. I bought a newer one. It's not really Silver Age, but I thought it was cool because it's a Fantastic Four, and the page layout is very reminiscent of the first appearance Doctor Doom. Um, and plus the fact that it says Miracle on Yancey Street. So it's a Christmas themed Fantastic Four book. I'll have to look that up. I think it's pretty cool. I had someone in my group with me just pick a comic. I said 3 Tales of Suspense comics. This might actually be a key. Huh. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a key, but this is Tales of Suspense number 89. It might be first appearance of the Melter. So that's something. That's something interesting. I'll have to look that up. Here is a Batman Family number 20. This might be a key. I don't think so, but it might be the first appearance of the Ragman. I don't think it is, but I'll look it up. It does have a Ragman appearance in it. And plus I just like Silver Age stuff, so Silver Age comics are always fun. Oh. Especially these like Batman Family Giants. I'm gonna have to see if they are reprinted anywhere else, and I might have to read them because these look pretty fun. I don't think this is going to be the first appearance of anyone on this cover. If anyone, it's Killer Moth, but I don't think Killer Moth's first appearance is in this book. When I saw it, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Is a freaking awesome, just this 15-cent Iron Man where it just looks cool. I just like the colors on it. It's a very awesome Iron Man. These 60 cents or 15-cent books. Tales of Suspense was a 12-center. Probably the one with sorry, had to pick it up. And it's hard to do with my gloves on. Probably the most modern book I bought, and probably the one with the highest cover price because comic books are I think comic book prices are a little insane. I think it's actually cheaper to wait and pick up the keys when you can get them, and but more or less buy collected editions. But I I have this Gargoyles #4, the Dark Age Gargoyles Dark Ages #4, and it's the reason I bought it is because some people from my family kind of know this, and some people from my family probably don't know this, but you can tell quite prominently there's just this pose for Demona, and I make no beef that Demona in the cartoon and in the comics and everything, in all forms of media, Demona is usually portrayed as kind of a villain, like 100% just straight up villain. She's not like in universe. She's pretty much hated because she betrays almost everyone. But it's a weird thing that people who know me best, or some people know, I really think Demona is actually kind of hot. Dude, I think she's hot. I think out of all the Gargoyle characters ever, Demona's the hottest. I make no beefs about it. Demona is hot. Yeah, I had a coworker where we were talking about old kid cartoons and that, and I was like, and I brought up the question, what non-human character, what non-human character did you ever have a crush on in when you were a kid? And she's younger than me, so she doesn't know the Gargoyles. And we went down. We talked about it. She mentioned someone I can't remember. My friend mentioned someone I can't remember, and then I mentioned Demona, and then she was like, "Demona? Who's Demona?" I'm like, "She's a gargoyle," and she's like, "A gargoyle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, she's a gargoyle." And she's like, so I pulled a picture of her up on my phone and I showed her, and she's like, "Ugh," and I'm like, "What? She's kind of hot." And then she's like, she's not human. I'm like, "Yeah, that was the parameters of our discussion." And she's like, "So you think that she's attractive?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She also has a human form. And she's like, "Oh, she has a human form." And I showed her a picture of the human form, and I'm like, I still think the gargoyle form is actually more attractive. So I saw this and I was like, "Oh, there's a nice Demona cover." And I'm like, I'm totally buying this Demona cover because it's a convention and I like this Demona cover. So yeah, there's something you don't know about me, but now you do, and probably wish you didn't know. I find Demona from Gargoyles kind of attractive. Oh, another thing, because you're probably wondering why I'm in my Spider-Punk gear again. Well, today was the convention's cosplay contest. There weren't as many entrants as there usually is. But it was still enough. There were still enough entrants, competitors to make it a nice, entertaining contest. And I got to enter it with my nephew, which is always fun. You know, I like it. I like to do stuff with family. You know, and it was his first time going in, so he did great. I'm very proud of his performance. He did place in the top 3. And honestly, everyone in the competition, I could have lost to every one of them, and I wouldn't have felt bad because they were great. Everyone worked super hard. Everyone worked well. Everyone did great. Everyone gave it all they got, and they did great. So I want people to know that everyone in the competition did great. Now, I've been doing this for probably like contest wise. I've probably been doing it for less than 4 years, maybe 4 years. I can't remember every contest I've ever entered. Um, but I've been making costumes and going to conventions in full costume for probably 10 years. So it's always been a hobby of mine. I've always liked it. The funny thing is, the judges also said that most of the judges said they've also been doing it for 10 years. So these guys have been doing it for about as long as I have. Well, I probably should stop beating around the bush and tell you how I did. Of the competitors that were there, I actually came in first. So this is my bear in mind of this is like not this. I've been doing this for years, and I've come up. Sometimes I didn't place. Sometimes I placed pretty low. I think I won a fan vote one year for the Riddler costume that you saw yesterday. Um, so I've been doing this for about 10 years, the cosplay stuff for 10 years. And this is actually the first cosplay contest I won. So I'm super stoked. I'm super hyped about what I'm going to do. I feel like this is just the beginning of what I want to do. I'm happy that I won, but I don't want to end it there. I don't want to say, oh, okay, well, I won my one contest and now I'm out. I kind of want to keep doing it. I kind of want to see if I can win next year. And the funny thing was, when I was doing it, I was not really like. And again, I could have lost any of the guys that I was in the contest, my nephew included. I could have come in and just lost, and I would still have been happy, because the fact is, I think that's when you realize you like what you do, is you can lose at something and you still like it. It's not demoralizing to you. And you're like, well, okay, I didn't win this year, but that means I get to try again next year. And it's kind of like that, where I did win this year, and it was a big step for me. The funny thing is, it's a minor convention. It's about on par with what I can do, cosplay wise, where I'm okay with doing it in competition. It's about, I see the big conventions like New York Comic Con, the different major Comic Cons throughout the country. I see those as like the major leagues. Those are the major leagues, and I'm not that. I don't think I'm a major league player in cosplay. I think I'm a minor league guy. I'm always going to probably be a minor league guy, but I'm okay with that. And I like what I do, and I love the work that goes into it. And I'm okay with being like it. If you gave me an opportunity to compete with the big boys in the big conventions, I probably wouldn't try, because I feel like, I'm a very minor league guy. There are guys that do the conventions, and they do the cosplay, and they put intricate, like, one of the positives I received was that I have a great sense of attention for detail. Like, my attention for detail is pretty good. Like, I just like to add details and do details, and I like that. And I have an attention to detail, but the guys who do professional cosplays have an attention to detail cranked up to 11. They have my attention to detail cranked to an insane degree. So I'm happy in my spot. But I'm excited for next year. I'm going to see if I can win again. And if I don't, at least I got the one. I got the one, which is fun. And again, when going in, I was always like, oh, I'm going to win this year. This is going to be my year. This is always going to... And I always say that. It's just something I always said, and now that I've done it, I'm like, um, you wonder where you go from there because that's the big goal. You have a goal and then you meet it. But then it's like, well, there's always next time. And I don't want to I just don't want to throw in the towel and retire from this element of what I do. But that said, the convention was fun. Convention's fun. There were highs and lows during the convention, but I'm glad it ended on an up note. I'm happy. I'm happy for the people who put the convention on. I'm happy for the people. I'm happy about. I want to give a hand to the people who ran the convention, the cosplayers in the convention, the panels, the guys in the convention, the judges for the cosplay contest were awesome people. I liked every single one of the judges. They were fair. They were good. They've been doing this about as long as me, but I would imagine they're probably better at this than I am. But so this time of year the convention scene starts to slow down for the winter, and we'll start up again in the spring, and we'll see where it goes from there. Other than that, again, it was fun, and I'm happy for how it went. There's a story about the convention where there was something last night that made me super angry, but I probably shouldn't go over it. If anyone wants to know, I guess I could do a video on it, but you probably don't want to know. It had something to do with my short box that I picked out. So, I mean, that said, I better let everyone go. Again, it was nice talking to you. This costume, it's won a competition. It's won the one competition that I always do. So, I don't think that they would allow me to use this costume more than once. And even if they did, I wouldn't wear this more than once because this costume has been used once. People have seen it. People like it. But for cosplay competition, this costume is going to be retired. When I say it's retired, it doesn't get hung from the rafters and never used again. I'm going to use this costume again, but I move on to different costumes. I designed other costumes, so I can. It's kind of funny because this one jumped to the front of the line. Oh, before you go, I did do a favorite tradition of mine whenever I go out and cosplay in a competition or just cosplay in general. I went out to an eating establishment and I sat at a table and I ate a bowl of ramen, tonkatsu ramen in full Spider-Man costume. But I'm like, halfway through, I'm like, I'm a Marvel character and I won. Maybe I should be eating shawarma or something. It was kind of fun because I was like eating my ramen, and then the waiter was like, "Hey, bro, can you like take a picture? Can we take a picture of you as you're leaving?" Oh yeah, sure. So that's something. I went to a ramen restaurant and I got in celebration. I got to dress up as Spider-Man eating ramen in a ramen restaurant while I got pictures as I was I posed while I was walking out. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. That was 20 minutes. It was fun. My gloves aren't